Hello. Can you hear me? Oh, you can hear me? Okay, yeah. I think I accidentally turned on some chat filter thing, so you might want to hold off on the profanities for this stream. Someone had their comment stuck. Anyway. I haven't got much sleep, and I'm just trying out this thing. So I'm gonna play some Tetris. I'm not good at it. I'm just trying it out. I just want to see how it holds up. So, let me know how it goes. We're off to a good start. Let's see, I have the microphone in the way. It's kind of throwing me off a bit. Right. Turn the volume on as well. You don't get feedback. Change the skin. I don't like that. Is it? Mic louder, game quieter. Okay, we can do that. I can't make the mic louder actually. So I don't think I can. Can turn the gain up a little bit. Okay. Can you hear me a bit better now? Hopefully. Let's see. Where is this thing again? Yeah, I'll do the E3 recap at some point. I was looking forward to doing it, and then I had all those problems with the internet. And it just kind of killed my motivation for it, so... yeah. Where am I? It can't be that you have to go all the way in here to do this, right? This can't be the way it's done. And it doesn't even show you a preview of them. Okay. So yeah, I'll do the thing, the E3 thing at some point. Maybe tomorrow, I don't know. I have to do the audio for the Opus Magnum thing, so that's kind of a bigger priority now because I'm behind on that. So no, I don't want to do the endurance thing. Yeah, I wasn't really sure what to stream. Regular viewers will know that I'm picky about the games that I'm okay streaming, so this one I want to get better at this. I have gotten a lot better at it, but I haven't played it in a while, so I'm pretty slow. I'll have to move the laptop at some point so I can see the stream more easily. Yeah, I actually started uploading that Bayonetta tutorial, and then I was like, I just want to test the stream. I don't know when I'm going to run out of energy. I only got a little bit of sleep last night because I thought that the thing was going to be installed another day. They scheduled it for another day, but the guy called me up and said he could do it today. And I wasn't expecting it, so I had to jump out of bed and get that done. So I'm all set up now, and it seems pretty good so far. Anyway, it's nice. See, I've always even when I had decent internet, I've always said that companies should, you know, try their best not to have like loads of patches and shit, just for people who, well, you know, don't even have the option of getting good internet. Like at least at its worst for me, I always had the comfort of knowing someday it'll be better, you know. But there's presumably people out in, like, I know rural America still has a lot of problems with its internet because they have so far to run the cable, you know, that it's just not happening. And then there's, you know, whole other countries as well. So and I definitely felt that. You know, playing games and then they get a patch and it's a huge patch and you have to wait for it to go, or you have to, you know, you have to question, is this patch, you know, necessary? Is it fixing a bug that's gonna kill me later or something? And then just picking games based on their download size as well. Like, the main reason I still have not got around to Neo is because it's an 80 gigabyte download, and that was just not happening for me, you know? So. Yeah, Rural Ireland has gotten better. Yeah, definitely. Sorry, I'm missing a lot of stuff here. Anime Dr. Mario. Yeah, you know, my biggest moment of weebery was refusing to buy this game until they put the fucking dual audio into it. Because I watched videos of it with the Japanese audio and I thought it was so much more charming in English. Yeah, we'll see how we're getting on now. I'm pretty tired. I actually partly decided to do this now just so it'll keep me awake a bit longer because I want to go to sleep at a proper time. And Tetris is a good game for that, you know. They get people with PTSD to play Tetris. I don't know if anybody knows that in chat. Apparently it's good for PTSD. Something about the shapes, it just helps people forget and relax, and at least that's what I've read anyway. It could be bullshit, you know, but I'm pretty sure that's true. I have PTSD over this whole internet thing. It's over with now. I can hardly believe it, you know, after all the trouble it took. The guy is out and it gets done and it's like an hour and a half and he's gone. And that's it. And you have working internet. When will the Breath of the Wild review be ready? I have that chat thing turned on. I forgot I turned that on ages ago. I don't know how I feel about that, but thank you. Yeah, not for a long time. I am interested in doing it, but it doesn't always translate to a video, and I don't know. Yeah. I do, of the games that people request of me all the time. You know, Metal Gear, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, MGS5. Oh, I said that already. Can you tell I'm tired? Odyssey, you know. Breath of the Wild is the one I most want to do, but it's just getting around to it. And it's kind of awkward as well. Like, I mean, the very first thing I would have to do, which I really don't want to do, but at this point, the very first thing I would have to do is just go back and watch all my videos on the Zelda games again to see what was in it and what wasn't. Because I can't, you know, I could just go ahead and just make it its own thing. Obviously, it'd be nice and people would like for it to be a part of that series, and it wouldn't properly be a part of that series unless I fully remembered what had already been discussed in each of the videos, because I don't want to just recap a bunch of stuff that I don't have to, you know? So that's the kind of thing that's weighing on my mind, but yeah, it only really became a possibility after the DLC was done, which was a while ago, I suppose, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not promising it. I'm not making a promise that it will ever even happen, but it is something I want to do, which is more than I can say for some of the things I get requested, so there's that. I'll do a separate E3 stream for all the E3 stuff, so I'll leave that for now. I don't know how to I don't know how to raise the volume any further on this thing. The bar doesn't go up any higher. Sure there's a way, but I just don't know how to do it. This has been ages since I streamed. I haven't streamed on this microphone in ages as well, because this was the microphone I had back in my old house where I grew up. So I was living in the apartment, but I would go and travel back home to record the audio for things, because it was a much better environment. Now I don't have to do that, so that's nice. But yeah, I haven't streamed with this one in a while. Maybe I'll use the other one for streams if this one is out enough. I've moved in a bit closer again. Hopefully this is alright now. Let's try and... Okay, something might go wrong here, but I'm going to try and move the laptop so I don't have to pause. I might still have to pause, but just so I can see the chat a bit better. Back to the Mammy's house. Yeah, I used to be going back to the Mammy's house. That's a bit better. I can lower the game further, yeah? I'll do that. What's that? Okay. What's that? Minus 20 decibels now, which should be enough, I think. If and when Zachtronics makes a new game, how long would you want to wait to make a video on it? Well, I'm not sure I would, you know? It's the kind of thing where, you know, I try to, like, one reason it's not so appealing to go back and do videos on series that I completed is I try to pack as much stuff into them as I can, you know? And by the time I reach the end, I'm not sure I have anything left to say. You know, it would depend. I think Zachtronics games tend to be quite different from each other, which would really help there. But again, I'm not sure that I would want to, and I feel like 5 videos is enough on that, you know? Maybe when I played it, I'd feel differently. But I would at least wait 6 months or so. I might still write before that. Like, I was writing some of the Opus Magnum stuff as soon as I finished it. But I knew that I would have to wait and see what they did, because they've always added stuff on. But they, at least compared to a lot of developers, there's a sort of... They have a much shorter period on that so far anyway. I mean, they could come out with a game, that's it, and they're going to say, hey, this is a bigger thing and it's going to be in early access for 3 years or whatever, you know? But so far, they've put out games with a very consistent period on them, which is only, you know, a few months, and then they're done and they move on to the next thing, so... Any new games you might be looking forward to? There's nothing that really pops out to me. Right now, nothing springs out. I'm sure there's some stuff, but that's probably a bad sign that nothing is leaping to mind, you know? Oh, there is, yeah, because you asked about E3, but these weren't at E3. I reorganized my Steam wish list because the sale was happening, and I was like, I've never actually arranged the wish list in the order that I think I would want to play them. So I decided to do that, and it's only like 20 things, so it didn't take long, you know. But the Environmental Station Alpha developer got 2 of the top slots, because my number 1 is Noita. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's that sort of sand, like falling sand wizard game thing. And the other one is Baba's You, which I think looks great. So that's my number 1 and 2 slot. And a lot of the stuff I want to play is already out. I want to get around to playing Dusk at some point, but I'm going to wait until at least the 3rd episode is out. I'm trying to think what else is on my list. I'm going to get around to Neo at some point as well. Yeah. And I'm crossing stuff off my backlog as well. So that's nice. I want to try and, this year, set a goal for myself to try and cross off a bunch of games that I neglected for a long time, and like improve my knowledge generally of things just by playing certain games that seem, you know, important, or like they would be good in certain genres and all that. So making some effort there as well. So yeah, I don't know if there's anything big from E3 that I was looking forward to. Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see how that Platinum game turns out, the one that they announced, Babylon's Fall, was that it? But I don't know. It's it seems like it might be a nice fun co-op thing, sort of Platinum-esque version of Gauntlet, you know, which I'd be down for. I gotta stop doing that. I'm not normally this bad, believe me. Do you know something about Lego game? Spybotics? No, I don't know anything about that. Sorry, it's gone off screen now. Fallout, yeah, I played Fallout 1. And I'm in the middle. I played 2 of the games I crossed off my list are Fallout and Dishonored. So I played Fallout 1 and Dishonored, and I'm in the middle now of Fallout 2 and Dishonored 2. And actually, I only just started Dishonored 2, and that's I want to play that instead of doing anything. But I'll probably spend tomorrow working on the Opus Magnum thing instead. I played Oxygen Not Included as well. I bought that for research. You can put that in quote marks or not, but it actually was for research for a little tiny thing that I was doing. I thought this is relevant and I have to play it, so I played that, and then I got a little bit hooked on that for a while. So I put more hours into that than I should have this week. Yeah. So I'm not looking forward to that much stuff that's not released, but I have plenty of stuff to play, which is good. No, I don't do my first playthrough of things on stream. I'm only comfortable playing stuff like this, you know, which is just the same thing over and over again, or games that I've already beaten maybe several times, or something like, I think one game I will play is Ballistic NG, because the campaign mode is just, the campaign mode in a racing game is you going through the tracks, and I've already played every track in the game multiple times. So plus they had a campaign mode in it at some point already, I think, and they redid it, and I was pretty far along in that when they did that, if I remember right. So I wouldn't mind streaming that. But I think generally you don't get the same experience if you stream something your first time through, and that's not good for me. I'm not up for that. So, you know, I would love to do it because it's a nice way to see. I miss the streams, because it's a nice way to feel productive, you know, without sitting around scratching your head over, you know, what am I gonna do next? You know, what script needs to be done? Or doing shitty audio recording, or you know, the boring parts of the video editing when all the interesting stuff is in, and you gotta, you know, make all the stuff that's not interesting as interesting as you can. Streaming is a way to be like, oh, I was productive today without having to do any of that shit. But so I'd love to stream more, but I don't have that many games that I'm comfortable with, and I'm not gonna change my stance on that one. I'm pretty firm on that one. Who knows? I could maybe see myself doing a subsequent playthrough of something like Dishonored on stream. I don't know. I'm giving big rambly responses because I can't look at the chat very often. What are your thoughts on Death Stranding? Well, that's one thing you should be prepared for the E3 stream. Was I didn't watch the Death Stranding trailer. I watched about the first 30 seconds of it. I saw enough to see... Well, if you haven't seen it, you might want to plug your ears for a sec. I saw enough to see Norman Reedus sort of being a courier, just walking around. It looked very walking simulator, you know, up to that point. Maybe it still was afterwards, I don't know. But that was enough for me. And even though I didn't see any interesting gameplay of any sort, I'm still quite interested in it. Yeah, I like the look of it. There's something about it. I mean, this is the kind of thing where this is why I really wanted Kojima to move on from Metal Gear sooner than he did. It's, you know, for all the problems that his games have sometimes, there's just something. He has a quality, you know, his games have a quality to them. Like, even just the way the containers were on Norman, that Norman was dragging behind him. I was like, why are they so weird looking? Again, I only looked at it for about 10 seconds at that point before turning it off, but there's like, it's such an intriguing game so far, and maybe that's just because we don't know anything about it yet, but I'm definitely into it. It's one of the things I'm most looking forward to, but I'm not, again, when somebody asks what are you looking forward to, I'm not really thinking of it in that time frame, because there's still no date for it, and I just assume they'll be saying, oh, it's coming out, and then it doesn't come out. Oh, it got delayed for 6 months, and, you know, that's what I'm expecting to happen. I don't know if it will or not. I hope it doesn't get delayed too long or anything. I hope they don't run into development trouble, you know. I hope it gets exactly as many delays as it needs. But I'm still skeptical that I will see it anytime soon, so... Which is crazy, because it's been announced for 2 years now or something, right? So, yeah, it's been a while. Matthew Matosa's Solitaire stream. Game audio, is game audio still loud? Still loud. Sorry, I didn't realize it was that loud. Alright, I knocked it down another 5 notches. Let's see. I don't even know how well I'm doing, but see, this is kind of why I wanted to play Tetris, because you can just zone out. I don't even know. Okay, I've beaten 2 people. It took me a long time to beat those 2 people. You need to be going for back-to-back Tetrises if you want to do that. See, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. At least. At least I have that. Right. Have you played many legit roguelikes, as in Rogue? No, I think mostly what I've played are roguelites. But I'm not all that, if you know what I mean. Stuff like The Binding of Isaac, Invisible Ink, stuff like that. But I'm not really sure the exact difference. And I think it would be a waste of time if you tried to explain it to me right now, because I won't be able to digest it right now. But no, I don't think I've played any legitimate rogue. People seem to get very I don't know what the word is, picky about what games do or don't fall under that umbrella. Which is not something I think about much myself, so yeah. But I if you're asking me that, no, I don't think I have played any that would fit the description. We got a little bit of a well here. We could maybe get a double Tetris on this if we can survive long enough. So we hold that. I have to say what I'm doing out loud so I don't fuck it up. Right, so I'm holding that. Right. That's nowhere near close to a double Tetris. Right. There we go. That was the wrong one. I want to do that. How does it feel knowing the sun will die out before we see the FF7 remake? Well, I don't mind. I'm not looking forward to it, so yeah. I don't think it will I don't know. I don't think it will replace the original in my eyes. And I'm not even that big a fan of Final Fantasy VII. You know, I think it's a good game and all, but yeah, it's not anything special to me. I mean, it was at one point because it was the first JRPG that I completed. Maybe even the first one that I played. I don't know, but it's not. It doesn't have that sort of special significance for me that it has for other people. So, yeah. Will you just play Shin Megami Tensei and kill all your friends, boyo? Will you? You know you gotta do it. Hello. Someone very excited to say hello. Hi. Do you think this meshes Puyo well with Tetris? I think it does about as good a job as anyone could expect it to, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's got all the modes, you know? Like, how many more modes could you really conceive of that capitalized on the whole double game thing? So it's got, you know, the versus, and you can play just straight Puyo versus Puyo or Tetris versus Tetris. And, what was I saying? You can play, they've got that fusion mode. This is a great stream. They've got that fusion mode. I'm trying to think what else. They've got all the modes. Made all the modes. All of them. Every mode. This game gets the award for most modes in one game. I'm sure that's not true. I'm sure there's some other game with 50 million. It doesn't even have that many modes. I always mix the orange and blue ones up. I'm just gonna die. Start again. 3 wins is not too bad considering how distracted I am. Yeah, Opus Magnum is still coming. The script is done. Just took me a while. I just wanted to, because it's the closing part of the series, I just wanted to make sure it was up to the standard I was hoping for. So I'm pretty happy with how that series has gone so far. So it just made me want to make sure. And you know, I think that the Opus Magnum script was fine anyway. But I started the whole series without really knowing how I was going to end it, you know. So that was something that I had to figure out, and I'm happy with that now. So I'm ready to finish it off and get it done. I considered maybe doing a different video instead, but it's a bit weird to do all of them in a row and then skip one. And I thought at this point it's better to just get that done, and then the Zachtronics series is over with and we can move on to other things. So yeah, it's coming soon. There is an E3 stream this year. Go back. YouTube has the option to go back on the fucking time. Go back to the start of the stream. Start there and catch up. I don't know if it is that hard to have discourse over the Zachtronics games. Yeah. You know, just because the comments on the videos were not discussing the games, to put it lightly, it doesn't mean that you can't do that anywhere. I'm sure you can. There's like a Zachtronics Discord. I haven't gone on it myself, but I'm sure you could talk about them to your heart's content there, so. Man, he's dropping them fast. Oh yeah, he's the one who always kills me. I've played this survival mode a bit, and all the other characters I can beat pretty handily with Tetris. Maybe not right now. Again, I haven't played this game in like 6 months as well, so please keep that in mind. But this guy, he's on another level to the level 1 NPCs. He moves very fast. He's gone slow now, but he's waiting for his chance to strike. Look at them chains. Getting all the ats to highlight your questions. I'm going to try and pick ones that aren't atted. Is this testing your Switch or PC? Well, that's not very interesting. It's PC. You can get it on Switch because it doesn't have dual audio. Plus, it's much cheaper on the PC anyway. I kind of would like to have the portable version, but I can live without it. It's Switch is doing well on the whole portable front with me. I gotta say, I've bought a few games on it that I probably would have bought on Steam or maybe PS4. I'm just gonna kill myself. I don't like that setup. I'm trying to think. Sonic Mania I own only on Switch. Yeah. There's at least one other game. I can't think of it. Anyway, and yeah, I'm probably gonna buy Curse of the Moon. Is that what it's called? I forget. I gotta stop giving those types of games such similar names all the time. Curse of the Bloodstained thing, but the retro one. I think that one looks much better. So I want to go back and play Castlevania 3 first, though, because I've never actually played that one. So that's on my to-do list as well. Somehow I don't believe you, person with the Japanese name. Somehow I think that would be phrased a little differently. Good question. I've noticed you don't usually do videos on 8 and 16-bit games. Is there any reason for that? Yeah, I've been thinking of changing that lately. Curious what you guys' take is on that, because One reason was because when I started the channel, it seemed like you either did retro reviews at that time. It seemed like you either did retro reviews or you did modern reviews, and there was no in between. And you know, that could totally be my biased perception of what it was like. But it really felt like there was nobody sort of talking about the stuff that had just gone by, you know, a decade ago or so, and was sort of fuck that. Do that again. Maybe I'll swap over to Puyo, but I'm much worse at Puyo than Tetris. So Puyo sort of, it's probably the kind of thing where you need more practice, but Tetris sort of goes into your brain in a way that Puyo has not for me yet. Setting up a chain is always a very sort of conscious task. Like, I have to put this thing here, and then this thing has to go there, and that has to go there, and so on. I think I was getting a bit more comfortable with it when I was last playing this, but yeah. Put that in the wrong way. Why do I keep doing that? I should put that in the other way, so it won't immediately clear anything, but then it won't leave a mess behind. Yeah, I was talking about the retro review thing. So it seemed like you only did retro reviews, or you only did the latest games, and there was nothing really in between. And I actually think that a lot of the games I covered which were in that early 3D period, it's one of the most interesting periods that has ever happened in games, at least as far as I'm concerned, because budgets were still low and people were still figuring out what to do, and you got these sort of weird games, or games that set precedents, you know, the ones that sort of stuck out from all the rest and really laid the foundation that everybody else walked in, you know, and it was just a more interesting time, I think. But I have been thinking lately that it would be nice to go back and do more older games. But one reason I don't is because I would have to do them on emulators, and I don't know exactly if that introduces any problems, you know, like if I bring something up in a review, I have no way of knowing for sure that that's not an emulator issue unless I go do research, you know. And it's not something I want to be, you know, worrying about all the time, so. But yeah, I've been thinking about it a lot more lately. I will pick a new question in a second. Let me see. It's always a Q&A chat. Is this what it's like for other streamers, or what? I feel like I should be able to stream and not feel like I have to constantly answer questions. And I'm not complaining about it. I get it. I wonder what else can I do? Just be entertaining by myself, I suppose. Look at me. I'm playing Puyo Puyo Tetris. I gotta get a face cam. That's my next. That's my next step, isn't it? Oh, look at that. Oh my god, I can't believe it. That when you put the pieces together, they disappear. I'll make a big shocked face into the camera. I am going to die here. No, I'm not. No. Got it. Yeah, so this awkward silence is... I'm in the zone right now. I can't take myself out of it. I don't want to break my flow just to be asked about Metal Gear Solid 5 again. Okay. Just be an angry speedrunner. That sounds kind of fun, yeah. No! Play the game with the most RNG and then complain every time a random number happens behind the scenes. Let's see. How's life? I hope you're doing well. I'm out of the apartment, and that is the main thing. And now I have internet. So, yeah, it's going alright. The output this year has been good as well, so. I'm annoyed that I missed the date on the Opus Magnum thing, but you know, I'm pretty happy with how things have been going. And plus, I was working on something else in that time, and I think most people would be more interested in the other thing I was working on, so it's kind of hard to be apologetic about missing it when I actually spent that time doing something more of you will like. So yeah. I mentioned earlier that I picked the PC version of Puyo Tetris to have the dual audio. Do I always prefer games in Japanese? If it makes sense, yeah. I mean, yeah, I think that the voice acting, I don't know what it is. Some people will say that, you know, the voice acting in such and such a game is totally fine, and then I hear it and I just think, no, it's not. It's really not. Maybe it is fine, but it's not good, you know? Whereas at least with the Japanese, maybe it's still not good, but at least I don't know that, you know? Because I can't understand it, and so it masks it, you know? It's like every game is a Team Eco game, you know? It's like just everything is just a big fictional language to me, and that's okay with me. I think you know, obviously it varies from game to game how good the voice acting is. For example, I'm very glad that Breath of the Wild got that dual audio patch, you know. Some games it doesn't really matter, and I would be the first to say for a puzzle game it shouldn't matter. I mean, I don't even have the sound on right now. Normally I would, but you know, it's just because it would come out the speakers and feedback, blah blah blah, and yeah, no, I don't have headphones here. I'm not going to get any. But you don't even need the audio. But it's just I watched some videos of the game with the Japanese audio, and it was just so charming. It's just really charming listening to it. They have all these sort of broken English phrases that are just charming to hear in a way that the English audio is just not, you know. So yeah. I actually accidentally asked a bunch of questions there in my answer to that one, so. Devil Daggers is class. Thanks for helping me lose 200 hours of my life. Great stuff. Nice. Yeah, it's a good game. Do you agree that no platformer has gotten down the control aspect as good as the Mario series? It's the only platformer you truly feel in control. No, I don't think that's true. No, I think there's plenty of platformers where you feel totally in control of your character. Like, I would say they have their own sort of feel to them. But, you know, like the PS2 platformers like Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, Sly, they all feel perfectly fine to me. It's more so that Mario series has an intrinsic fun to it that a lot of other games don't manage. Maybe no other game does. It's certainly not in 3D manage quite as well. Yeah, and it's hard to know what the secret recipe is there on that, you know? It's something I'll be thinking about a bit more whenever, you know, if and when I go back in for Odyssey again. But no, I think that it's hyperbole to say that they're the only ones who ever got it right. I don't think that's true. And yeah, when it comes to 2D platformers, you know, I think Dust Force might be my favorite, even above any Mario game, any 2D Mario game. So, where's your lovely wife? She's not my wife. She's asleep. We've not been very good at keeping our sleep pattern all that good. Normally I don't mind, but yeah, in the summer it's just bad. I really hate the amount of sun that happens during the summer. You know, just the amount of daylight hours, I can't stand it. And I think because I've moved further into the time zone now. It takes longer in the evening for the sun to set. I don't know if that's actually a big enough difference for it to be noticeable by a human who's only sort of casually thinking about it, like I have. But I really feel like the sun is setting even later than it did when I was in Dublin. It's not good. Yeah, I prefer to be in my nice dark cave playing a game. What temperature is it there? Yeah, it's about 28, 29 degrees here, and I'm dying. I'm dying here right now. I can't hack it, man. Yeah, fuck. I know that's nothing to some of you, but... See, the thing is, as well, it's nothing... A lot of you will say, oh, that's nothing, blah, blah, blah. But the people who feel that way, like Australians, I'm sure Australians would say that. 28 degrees is nothing to me, right? Fair enough, but you also probably live in a country where everything is air-conditioned, you know? And that is not the case here. There's no air conditioning at all, because generally you don't need it, you know? So we've no air conditioner. We have a sort of fan thing. But yeah. It's not good. It's not a good temperature. I always find it interesting when the Tetris pattern sort of gets these stratifications of colors in it, like you've been putting the same place in the same piece in the one place over and over. I need to start hanging on to my eye pieces or whatever they're called. This is bad. Yeah, we'll drop that now. Thanks for the tip. Yeah, I don't know if I'll get a fan, but fucking, I gotta turn that thing off. Have you considered building your own home that's better ventilated? Yeah, maybe we'll make that a Patreon goal, will we? That sounds like a good idea, actually. Yeah, I'd have something to put on it then, wouldn't I? I'll source the building materials and all that, and then I'll put an estimate up on the Patreon, and you can get cracking on that for me, alright? No bother. Good stuff. It was nice of you to offer. Yeah, this house is pretty poorly insulated, which means it's really cold in the winter and really hot in the summer. I kind of thought when the summer rolled around that would at least mean it would still be cold here. But no, insulation works the way you would think it works. Just maintain a fucking temperature. But it's it really is a small complaint in comparison to the fucking apartment I was living in. So, I'm glad to be out of it. I'm very glad. I wake up every day, you know, thankful that I'm not in there anymore. Have you played Donkey Kong Country Returns Tropical Freeze? Yeah, I have. Yeah. I like them. Do you think gamers are a bunch of whiny idiots who hate PC culture while loving idiot reactionary skeptic idiots? That's a lot of idiots in there. I know what you think anyway. I've just never been interested in that stuff myself, so yeah. For me, that kind of stuff gets in the way of the actual discussion, you know? What is this game called? Puyo Puyo Tetris. I gotta say, it's kind of worth buying just for the Tetris alone because it's just snappy and feels right, you know? It's got the right, like you press the hard lock button and it's just there and it's got the nice little particle effect. It just feels right. It just goes to show that, you know, the little effects and the feel of the game really does matter, even for something as simple as Tetris. It's just nice to have it there, you know? It's tempting to answer questions about the E3 stuff, but yeah. Well, I'll talk about that on the E3 stream. I will do an E3 stream, maybe tomorrow. Let's see. I probably will want to do it tomorrow because when it gets around to doing audio for a video, I always want to get out of it. I'm like, no, I'll write another script. I'll do anything. Yeah. So I probably will want to do the stream instead of doing that pretty soon. Surprised I survived that. I don't even know what's happening. Oh, I beat 3 people. That's alright. I can go out on 3 kills. I'm sure if you've... Oh no. I'm sure if you play the game enough, 3 kills is nothing. It's not even the warm-up, but it'll do for me. Hey, look at this. Look at this. Look at that. This is the interesting thing. I mean, I'm in absolutely no position to say how balanced this game is, like, for competitive play, but the interesting thing about Puyo versus Tetris is if you get junk as Puyo, it's just fucking junk. I think there's maybe some easier ways to set up chains with the junk, but when you get junk as Tetris, if it lands right, you get back-to-back clears like that. You actually get little combos out of it. See? And that seems a little unfair to me. So, yeah. That didn't really feel deserved, you know? But I don't know. It's a totally different game. It's clear just from watching videos of people play. It's a totally different game at the highest level, so... Let's see... Ever consider going to a tournament in Ireland? No, I only realized it right before I started the stream that I can actually play Guilty Gear again. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to playing that again. I wouldn't consider going to a tournament, at least not right now. Anyway, no, I don't expect to ever be at a competitive level. I just really want to experience it more than I have in the past. You know, I've played fighting games where I never really put much effort into them. I just want to do that, so... I think it's there's sort of like a curve, from what I understand, from watching videos of people play it. Puyo Puyo Tetris, I mean. I think there's a sort of curve where Tetris is good for absolute beginners because it's easier to understand than Puyo Puyo. Or it's easier to sort of hit a point where you can get Tetrises back to back. You know, that's easier to do than getting 4 or 5 plus chain in Puyo Puyo, at least in my mind anyway. And then there's sort of a curve where when you get good at setting up chains, it's easy to destroy Tetris players. But then I think at the very top, Tetris players just fucking blow through Puyo Puyo players like they're nothing. Because you can just... The advantage is that you can move so fast. You know, when you get really fast, you just go so much faster. So, yeah. I was maining Raven before I stopped playing. I stopped playing when I moved, which was like 6 months ago or something now. So, yeah, I know he got nerfed since then, but I'm okay with that. I wasn't playing him because he was overpowered or anything. I just liked the character. It just clicked with me. It's hard to say why, you know. I kind of like the extremely edgy sort of vibe that he has. You know, it's fun, but more so just something about his playstyle just worked with me. I think it's the fact that he doesn't have an air dash. Reflecting on it now, I find the air dash thing to be a bit finicky right now, so I think it's the fact that he doesn't have an air dash, which means or he doesn't have a traditional one anyway, you know, which means I'll never have to worry about air dashing that perfectly. I'll never have to do like I can't remember, there's some instant air dash. You can do that as Raven though, right? I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So yeah, but it's interesting to me why certain characters click with you, you know, because we all feel it when you play a fighting game. Someone clicks with you, and you weren't necessarily consciously, you weren't consciously thinking, oh, I'm going to play this person because X, Y, Z. You kind of try everybody, and you just go, oh, this one works for me, you know. So that was Raven, but I didn't give everybody on the roster a fair shake, so. I don't know. There's some I would cross off though. I don't think I would ever enjoy playing Potemkin or Faust. But other than that, I think I'd be open to them. I'd kind of like to learn how to play Slayer, I think. He looks fun. I like the sort of piston arm that he has, you know. It's good. It's good. And he seems like a ground fighter, which is kind of interesting. I'm not settled on a character yet, I think is what I'm saying. I can't believe I have 300 people tuned into this. I didn't even put it out on Twitter or anything. I didn't mean for this many people to watch. I just thought I'll stick something on, and I hope it's not too boring for you. No, I'm not up for a pint. I'm not even in Dublin anymore. Slayer's personality suits you. I find that funny because I'm an extremely disheveled man, and Slayer is very put together. So I think maybe the channel is blinding your vision on that one. I'm not sure if it has fever mode. Not sure. Yeah, Milia looks fun as well. So I'd say she'd be high on my list. I haven't read that book on Steve Swink's book on Gamefil. I haven't read it. Did you ever get around to giving Rain World a second chance? No, not yet, but it's still on my to-do list. It's still a fairly high priority for me. Yeah, I want to get around to it sometime in the next few months. So yeah, I'm tempted now. I know they added an easier mode and some easier settings and stuff. I'm tempted to use them, but I also wonder if I wouldn't be getting the full experience, because I think that like the game was clearly pushing you to do something a bit different, and I liked that about it. And I just worry if I lower the difficulty, I'll probably enjoy it in a more superficial, immediate way, but maybe not in the way that actually makes it a special game, if it's special, you know? So, yeah, okay, I'll go for normal mode. Do you know about Guilty Gear's lore? Yeah, apparently Dizzy is, I don't know, 18 months old or something, but she's also the mother of one of the characters. And that's only the start of how weird it is. I watched the cutscenes for the story mode, or most of them anyway, and yeah, it's very strange. It's really interesting to me that the guy, there's, maybe somebody can link it in the chat. There's like these nice little kind of mini documentaries they do on, I think it might just be in Japan, just Japanese creatives, so it's not just games people. Hopefully somebody knows the one I'm talking about. I don't even know the name of it. I wouldn't be able to find it. Maybe I would. But Daisuke, I can't remember his last name exactly, but the guy who directs Guilty Gear, it's really interesting to see him, you know, just drawing a picture of the characters from Guilty Gear, and oh, also I direct the games, and oh, also I write the story, and oh, also I compose all the music. It's like, what the fuck? How, like, because I don't think I'm not a huge fan of the music in Guilty Gear, you know, it's not, and I think that more comes from just it not being my cup of tea, you know. I don't really find anything wrong with it, and some of it is good, and I'm also not a huge fan of the character designs, and I'm not a huge fan of the story, you know, but they are all, like, for one person to be doing all of that is still extremely impressive to me. Just the, yeah, I think some of the character designs are really good, and I think some of the music is good, and I think maybe there's more, maybe the story is better than I think, and obviously I like the gameplay, you know, it's the fighting game I picked out that I would like to learn more about, and very impressive. And yeah, somebody named, yeah, I want to name that Toko TV. Maybe you can't post links in chat, can you? I don't know, but Toko TV, yeah, they do these little things. Jealous, someone says jealous. I am a bit, yeah. I think anybody would be, any creative person probably would be jealous of him to some degree. The fact that he can do all of that to such a high level of competency is truly impressive. I mean, I think in the video he's just drawing some illustration for the game, like some sort of promotional material or something, just something that's not even related to the game, and he's like, I'll handle that, I'll do that, you know? That's I don't know, that deserves a lot of credit. Oh yes, yeah. Someone pointed out he's also the voice actor for Saul, and I liked the acting on him. I listened to the Japanese version, and obviously I don't know the language, and I can't say whether it's truly good or bad acting, but it seemed fine to me. He seemed better than some of the other characters, you know. Certainly he was sort of gruff but likable in that protagonist-y sort of way that he needed to be. So I mean, how much more can one guy do, you know? Fuck. So yeah, I think that's actually been the most interesting thing about getting into Guilty Gear for me so far, actually, has just been learning how multi-talented the director behind it is. It's really, really impressive to me. Yeah, I can't get over that. What game do you intend to make first? Yeah, well, let's assume I ever get the fuck around to it, you know? Here's hoping. Here's hoping. Yeah, I have some ideas, but I don't know. I don't really want to talk about it. First of all, it assumes it'll happen, which, you know, it hasn't so far. I hoped that when I started, you know, when I moved and when I quit my day job, I would feel like I had time to work on something, you know, get back into the swing of programming games stuff, related stuff, and it hasn't happened. But yeah. I'm thinking about how I could make it happen though. It's a high priority for me, trust me. But I'm not expecting to light the world on fire or anything, you know. I think if you've watched and paid attention to my videos, you can probably tell if I do make something, it would be something that, you know, maybe doesn't appeal to a lot of people, but hopefully appeals to those people that it does appeal to very deeply. You know, that's the goal for me, is just to make something that I would want to play. That's my number one goal, really. Make something cool that I would want to play. And of course you'll all buy it, won't you? No matter what it is. Yeah. I have to combine the two most boring genres to see if you'll all buy it. How's life self-employed? Much better since I moved out here. The apartment was really cramping everything. I'm just much healthier and happier since moving out here, and my output has improved, and it's good. It's a shame that it took this long and that it took so long to get the fucking internet set up. Puyo Puyo Tetris Battle Royale. I'm curious. This is just I get curious about things, so indulge me here. I'm curious what the delay on the stream is. So I want you to be ready, at least a couple of you, be ready on your keyboards, right? And I want to know when I say go, you write something in the chat, okay? Or, well, actually, we need a code word, don't we? Because if you just write something in the chat, I'll just take that as a regular chat message, won't I? So you say, oh, you all start saying go. Something in the chat. Okay, that gives me my. That works. It's close enough. I could, you know, try and go again for a more accurate reading, but I think that'll do. Yeah, it's not quite as small as I would hope. I mean, I know that doesn't really have anything to do with your connection speed or anything, but yeah, there's still a bit of a delay on it. Who am I up against? Yeah, I'm up against the fish guy. If I can get past him, I can probably relax a little bit against the others. Now. Oh, let's see how you like this one. Yeah, he's gone. He's gone. He's out. He's got to be out. I'm watching his screen more than I'm watching mine. That is a lot of Z and L pieces back to back. What are your thoughts on the lack of original Xbox emulation? I was just thinking about that recently, actually. So I still need to get around playing Ninja Gaiden. It's not like I was considering doing that or anything now. You know, I would never do that. You know that, right? But yeah, it's just, and it's funny, isn't it? Because I presume the reason that there is no Xbox emulators, just that nobody cares enough to make one, right? Because probably most of the good stuff was already ported off onto PC or whatever. Ninja Gaiden. If you had to introduce one game to Leonardo da Vinci, what would it be? It's tempting to say Assassin's Creed 2, you know? That'd be a fun one, you gotta admit. Leonardo da Vinci. Yeah, fuck it, you're not gonna get a better answer than that. Assassin's Creed 2. Pop it in there, Leo. See, I don't actually remember what role he plays in it, just that he's in it to some degree. You find his contraptions or something. He's not actually in it himself. He's dead by the time the game happens, I think. Go on, Leo. Kill the Pope now. Go on. Go on now. Go on now. He's last boss now. Yeah. Oh, he's in it, is he? Oh, he tries to shake your hand. That's Leo, isn't it? And you can miss the handshake. Yeah. How do you deal with the overall negative response towards your Zachtronics review series? I don't. It's not going to change the fact that they're going to get made, and that's that, you know? People have every right to complain in the comments, and I have every right to just do what I'm going to do. I hope that doesn't come across as spiteful or anything, because I get where people are coming from. If you're not interested in it, you're not interested in it, but, you know, hopefully those people also understand that that doesn't mean I'm just going to turn around and just do the popular requests, you know. It's just not how I operate, and it's never been how I operated. I think I mean, I knew that the Zachtronics series was not going to be popular, you know, before I made it. But I think what did surprise me is just the degree to which this was unexpected by a lot of people. I don't really understand that. I mean, if you look at my channel, Catherine is the second review on my channel. I mean, it's not like it hasn't always been about let's just take the biggest game that we can and do a video on it, you know? And just do the things that I like to do. And I do the things that I think will lead to a good video, you know? So that's it. As long as the people who have actually played the games think that I've done the series justice, then I'm happy enough with that. And that seems to be true from what I've seen anyway, so. Even then, as long as I'm just happy with them myself, you know, that's the main thing. That's the main hurdle for me to fucking clear before a video gets done, so, yeah. Wouldn't it be smart from a business sense to do popular games because people want to see since you just restarted your Patreon and channel? Yeah, but it's not. I don't think of it as a business, you know? That's the thing. People, like, give me business advice, but that's just not the way I think about it. It's not why I got into it, so I could have a business. Did it because, you know, I wanted to talk about the games that I like, so. And maybe find out some more stuff in the process myself even, you know? So. And again, I get it. People, like, I don't take it too hard. I try to remember that a lot of it comes from a good place. Like, people want you to do popular games and be successful because they like the stuff that you do on the things that they're interested in, you know. So they want more stuff that they enjoy, and they want you to be more popular, so you know, more people come along and they get more stuff, and it's all good, everybody wins. But it's just not the way I think about it, you know. So made you buy Infinite Factory. Good, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed TIS 100 as well. Yeah, I recognize that it is actually a business, whether I think about it as one or not, but you know, I'm surviving. I'm not thriving exactly, but I'm surviving. That's enough. When's the Bubsy review series? Oh, you know. I gotta, see, I've kind of made a personal challenge to myself now to try and find some way of topping that Sonic Dreams video. Like, what topic could I come up with that would genuinely be good, but also a bit weird? It's kind of, it's not why I did the Sonic video in the first place, but now I enjoy doing it so much that I want to do that again, you know? So who knows? Who knows? The Sonic video was one of the most fun videos to work on. Somebody asked me a while back on the Ask FM page, what's the most fun video you've worked on? And I said Devil May Cry, because it started out as just something that I started for fun, you know, not as a video thing, and I didn't have to worry about camera angles and all that kind of stuff. I just had to play the game the way I wanted to play it, because it was just a commentary that I was gonna do my way, and that was it. And now I think it maybe the Sonic Dreams Collection video, that was very, very fun to work on. Just you know. See, it's at this point, because I made the video, I don't find the video particularly funny, but anything that you found funny in the video, if you found it funny at all, I found funny when it occurred to me, you know? Like, Tails and his stinky poo-poos, you know? Like, as soon as that came up, as soon as that popped into my head, it was like, am I really gonna put that in? Yeah, I can't not do it now that I've thought of it, you know? So... yeah, that one was a lot of fun. I'm glad to see some love for the Sonic video. I know it's very strange, but yeah, I was very happy with how it turned out as well. So, did you defeat the final boss of Nex Machina on Veteran? No, I didn't. Veteran is the... I think I'm playing it on Veteran, and I'm stubbornly... I haven't actually beaten the game at all. I'm stubbornly trying to 1 credit clear it on Veteran. And I keep restarting if I lose my fucking human combo, which I shouldn't be doing, I know. And I keep restarting, or I keep fucking getting to the architect, and then because I haven't practiced him, I die all the time. And then when you die, you lose all your power-ups, and then I'm truly fucked. I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna do this without power-ups. So the architect is a huge roadblock for me on it. But I'm still playing it, and I still really like it. And you know, just because I haven't beat it, just doesn't mean I'm not having fun with all my attempts. I am. I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, I plan to do that at some point. I restart my runs way too much. It's a really bad habit that I really need to get out of. Like, you know, I lose my human combo on like the 4th human, and I'm like, well, this run is ruined forever, you know? It's obviously going to drop eventually anyway. I'm not going to keep it up for a whole playthrough, my first credit clear. It's just not going to happen. I need to consciously recognize that. I should say, by the way, been streaming for 80 minutes. I'm going to try and do shorter stream because I think I have a more comfortable setup here. I'll be able to stream more frequently, assuming I can find games that I'm interested in that I'm comfortable streaming. So I'm not going to do the big epic 6-hour streams anymore, I don't think. I'm going to try and do little streams and get them over with. So I'm not planning to stream much longer. I'd say maybe until we hit the 2-hour mark. Let's see. Oh, it has to, oh, that's really cool. Oh man. So to beat the final boss, you have to do it on 1 credit. I love that. Fuck man, I love that game. There's so many great little things in it. Like sometimes, you know, I can't even really think of any examples, but sometimes you play a game and you just think, did the developers even like this genre? You know, you just think like, how many people on the development team actually wanted to play this game, right? Do you ever play, surely some of you have played a game and thought that. You think, how many people actually cared about the end product they were making? Surely not all of them. And it's probably not all of them on any game ever made, right? Unless it's by one person. But Nex Machina, you just feel like everybody fucking loves this genre. You know, the people who are making it knew what they were doing. They put in as much clever shit as they could, you know. Like one thing, I'll tell you, one little thing that I noticed in it that I love, right? There's these enemies that are underground, right? And so you go into a room and you clear, it's basically a game split up into rooms, right? And you clear rooms, but some of the enemies are burrowed underground. And what happens is you kill all the enemies, but you have like a combo timer that you're dependent on to really score big. And so you kill all the enemies in a room. And the first clever thing is, when it gets down to one enemy, that enemy gets a huge highlight on them to let you know where they are. So you're not like, where, oh fuck, where is, you know, blah, blah, blah. You go, you know exactly where they are, so you can kill them. And that's just clever. It's just like, yeah, that's the way the game should be, right? But a lot of games wouldn't have just that little, you know, it's that little extra step. And then, on top of that, there's these enemies that burrow under the ground. So sometimes if you don't catch them, they go basically invulnerable for a second. That's your punishment for not killing them right away, right? But if it's your last remaining enemy, it unburrows and runs straight towards you, so you can kill it straight away. Just, I love that. I love it. I love it. You know, it's just, and it's such a simple thing, but it just, that just proves that these people, they played the game, you know, at the max level. They wanted others to do the same, and they knew exactly what needed to happen to make that enjoyable, and they took all the steps that they could. Now, I'm not saying it's a perfect game. I'm obviously not going to say that. I think the visuals are way too cluttered. That would be my #1 complaint about it. But it's just, it's a great game. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's a shame that House Mark said that arcade is dead. I don't know, I hope maybe they'll come back to it. What they really need is for some mega popular YouTuber to make a recommendation video about Nex Machina. That's what they really need. But alas, I am only mildly popular. No, I'd love to do something about it, but nothing good has really come to me yet on that one. And plus I need to give it more time. I need to actually fucking finish the game first. I need to get over myself and just knock my head against the architect for a while until I understand it. That's another thing I would say against the game. But we're just evolving into a full-on Nex Machina review here and now. So another thing I would say against it is, and I think it's the same for all of these types of games, or a lot of them, and I'm not really sure how you would rectify this problem other than abandoning boss fights completely, but the boss fights move into bullet hell territory, and that, I don't know how distinct that feels for other people, but for me that feels very distinct from the type of twin stick shooting that it is for the vast majority of your playtime. And that's not necessarily a bad thing that the bosses are a different sort of challenge. You know, I can kind of get behind that. But it's just, yeah, the visuals don't really work for it for me, and yeah, and it's not a genre that I like as much as the regular twin stick. So when it goes into the bullet hell sort of phase, I'm less interested and I'm less good at it, and it's a big no for me. It's a big turn off for me, you know. Could be a fun game stream, yeah. It would be nice to see the video codec shit itself as all the particles go all over the place. But maybe the new internet could keep up. Who knows? Who knows? YouTube is flagging the weirdest comments. I don't know why that one got flagged at all. Anyway. Yeah, I'm really interested. On my Steam wishlist that Yoko's Island Express is in 5th place. And considering, or maybe 6th or 7th or something. But yeah, considering the top 2 games aren't even out yet, it's pretty high up on my to-do list. The price does seem a little steep. And you know, I try not to worry about price of games too much, but I do have limited fucking money supply, you know? So, it's a little steep, but I might still take the plunge just because it seems like an interesting thing. Thank you to whoever it was that pointed that out to me on the Ask FM page. I didn't answer it, but someone pointed it out to me there, and that's what made me look into it, so. I haven't tried Fortnite, no, I'm not really interested in it. Hollow Knight is getting conversation again. I know you don't care for that game, but would you review more indie Metroidvanias? Well, just to correct the record there a bit, it's not... I wouldn't say I don't care for it. I enjoyed it. I don't think as highly of it as a lot of people seem to. I think it's perfectly enjoyable. It's very easily recommendable, you know what I mean? Like, there's very few things in it that would turn you off recommending it to someone. And that's something Metroid-style games kind of have sometimes, you know, they have like a mechanic or a bit where you know the person you're recommending it to might get stuck and wander around aimlessly for a while and not really enjoy themselves. I don't think Hollow Knight has anything like that, which is a big point in its favour, but that's... yeah, that's not... That doesn't make it like instant classic in my eyes, you know? I'm looking forward to replaying it with the DLC though. I haven't tried any of the DLCs, so maybe that's the stuff that will bring it over the edge for me. Because I kind of had a similar experience with Shovel Knight where everybody was loving Shovel Knight and I was sort of like, yeah, Shovel Knight's good, you know. And then, like, yeah, it's sort of just on the edge of the party and sort of nodding your head a little bit. Yeah. But I really liked the Plague Knight expansion. That was a big, huge win for me. I liked playing him a lot more than playing Shovel, so... and I like the Spectre Knight one as well. I'm not... The context-sensitive thing still seems a little misguided to me, but I liked that more than Shovel as well, so... yeah. How's the Shin Megami Tensei playthrough going? I'm somewhere deep into Shin Megami Tensei 1. I can't remember where. I'm deep into that one though. I'm past a certain point. Something happened and I got past that bit. And I'm a fair bit past that. I haven't touched it in a while though. I should get back to it before I lose too much of my memory of everything on it. Yeah, the environments do blend together a lot Shin Megami Tensei 1. It's kind of a problem with the first-person dungeon crawling in general. But yeah, obviously it's a bit pronounced because it's a SNES game and they probably didn't have much of a budget and all that. I like it, but also I was kind of I didn't really like the encounter rate much and the combat much at the beginning, but now it's like I've figured out some stuff and it's almost a non-issue for me now, which is the opposite problem. You know, it never hit that sweet spot for me where it was just difficult enough to keep me engaged in the combat like some of the later games do. It's just, you just have to be thinking enough, like, okay, I know what all these weaknesses are, but one of my characters missed, so I have to think for a second, can I do my normal thing on this turn, or do I have to play defensive or whatever? You have to think for a second. Whereas, yeah, there's at least a couple of things in Shin Megami Tensei 1 that allow you to turn your brain off when you're playing it. I'll talk about Sekiro and all the other E3 stuff on the E3 stream. Yeah, I'm not going to get into it now because yeah, I just don't want to repeat myself tomorrow. Assuming it is tomorrow. Sorry, I shouldn't say tomorrow. Whenever the E3 stream happens, I will try to do it soon though. Yes, Eric, that thing about the demons, I love that. See, I don't know if that was in the later games, was it? I can't remember, because I was playing Shin Megami Tensei 1 and that happened and I was like, what the fuck? This is great. This is really cool strategy that you can do. Where, you know, instead of relying on on your best demons, you can just go into an area and just grab everything that's there and then you're done, you know? Yeah. I must try that more in the other games because I was surprised that it worked. Maybe it doesn't work as consistently or something. It does happen. That's cool. Yeah. There you go. Another reason to play them all again. I'll play them all again, spend about 100 hours and then go, guys, you know what? I don't really want to do a series on them anymore. Nah. Let's do Sonic Dreams Collection 2 instead. Oh, yeah, I told you it was that fish guy that wrecks me, and the other ones aren't so bad. I'm on 5 kills now. Kills. Fatality. Well, I am the Dark Prince, so shouldn't have swapped there, but alright. He's called Satan in the the Japanese version, by the way. Just straight up Satan. They all been Puyo players? I've fragged 5 Puyo frags. Puyo side. Have you seen the Tetris movies? What? Yeah, it's not as reliable in the other games. Yeah. Yes, that's what I was surprised. It was like, it happens every time. That's cool. I suppose it is a bit abusable, you know, so maybe it's reasonable for them to have taken it out, but I kind of like that. I wonder, I'm just noticing on this pause screen, right? Someone can probably confirm this for me in the chat. Pause in Japanese, it's probably 3 characters, right? You see the little cheeky trick they did there with the P-A-U-S-E? Nobody's gonna notice. I don't care that they did it that way, by the way. It's just funny. Have Have you ever listened to My Bloody Valentine? No, I haven't. Sorry. Yeah. Keep forgetting you guys are hearing all the voices. You're hearing Tetris. Tetris. Tetris dane. Man, I'm so fucking hot. It's humid as well. That's the real problem. You know, my PC can't survive under these conditions. It's taking damage. Favorite rebel tune? I don't even know what that means. Someone want to explain that one to me? Did you try the Octo expansion? No, I didn't. No. I don't know if I care enough about the single player to buy a totally single player part. Because I'm totally down for a Splatoon single player thing. I think they could make a Splatoon game that was single, and maybe this is what Octo expansion is. They can make a Splatoon game that was totally single player and still fully enjoyable. You know, still a totally enjoyable game with lots of cool, interesting gimmicks and stages and stuff. But I don't feel like they... And it's hard to pinpoint what's wrong, because you see a lot of the sort of... I keep jumping off onto different thoughts. What was I going to say? I don't really see that in the single player campaign of the standard game, but it's hard to say what's wrong. And maybe it's just... I'm talking like a robot now. Maybe it's just the launch star sort of similarity that's confusing me a little bit here, but I think you see a lot of the same sort of design you see in the Galaxy games, you know, Mario Galaxy and 3D World as well, where, you know, it's introduce an idea and we'll play around with it, and then the next stage we'll do a new idea. And it's good, you know, it's very good, but it's just something about it is like, this just isn't enough somehow. I don't know what it is. So I don't know if I'd be interested in a fully single player game like that. Oh, here we go, PPP. No man, PPP is the other fucking savage. He's the Tetris savage. He's the good Tetris guy. I'm presuming it swaps over to other characters at some point that I haven't got to, but he fucking is good. I gotta get my game face on. Whatever the fuck that means, right? It's really interesting as well how the when you're playing Tetris versus Tetris, it doesn't do that hold property sort of thing where it holds on to your combo until you finish and then sends it all over at once. I don't see anything wrong with it working like that, but I'm just curious why exactly it works that way. What is the crucial difference between Puyo and Tetris that means that you have to do it that way? I don't... Maybe if my brain was working, I could figure it out. I want to beat PvP without pausing, so I'm not going to be looking at chat for a sec. So I feel like if I pause, I'll lose my place. His name's not PvP. His name's O, or no, his name is, what the fuck is his name? He just said PvP a lot for some reason. I hope you can hear him so it doesn't seem like a fucking mad bastard here. PvP, what's he talking about? He has heat stroke. No, you don't understand. PvP. Ah, fuck. Too distracted having a pee-pee. Come on. There we go. No. No. Oh, I'm gonna lose. I'm definitely gonna lose. This is as far as this road goes. That's not bad though, 7 wins, huh? Hey? Hey? Huh? That's not bad. Come on now. No, we're done. There we go. Bested, you little fucking shit. What is his name? Oh, yeah, oh. Why do you say pee-pee if your name is O? He's the worst fucking Pokemon. Alright, I'll swap over to Puyo. I'll take a break for a minute. We'll leave it on the menu. I will swap over to Puyo. I'm gonna go get a drink. I'll be back in a minute. Hello, I'm back. Man, they hit me like a fucking brick wall walking into this room. Yeah, I'll play some Puyo Puyo now in a minute. I'm gonna be rubbish at it though. How's everybody doing? What did you play in World of Warcraft? I played a troll shaman at first, and then I had stupidly rolled on a PvE server, not really understanding the difference because I just put the game on and just started playing. And I got some friends into it, and they moved over to a PvP server, which was the right choice. And they went Alliance, so I did a gnome rogue then as well. I think I got to 60 on both of those. Do you have an estimate for when you're going to stream tomorrow? I don't even have an estimate for when I'm going to be conscious tomorrow, so no, not really, no. Oh, I'm playing. Alright, let's go. Well, I played Sonic Mania a few times, so this should be a breeze. Okay, so if I do that, that's at least a 2 chain. Hey! There we go. I did a chain. We can all go home now. Alright, it's something. Right, we have to start building bigger chains now, right? So, the best way to think about this was to think of one of the... Imagine what the current trigger Puyo is. And then you build a chain. So green is currently the trigger. And purple is what will be triggered. Right. So now, on top of this purple, I have to build blues. And now I have to get rid of these yellows. Of course, now I get no greens. So green. I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. Green. That can go there. This should start a chain, hopefully. Yes, but not the way it was supposed to. Yeah, that's alright. That's okay. Not too bad. It was a chain, but it wasn't the chain it was supposed to be. Do you think Sonic Mania did a good job of balancing old and new content? I would have preferred more new. I would have preferred all new, but I realized that's probably was not on the table. So, yeah, I think they did a good job. They mixed in enough new stuff. So that, if I can get the blue, so what I need to do is I need to, no, don't do that. I need to put a blue on top of that yellow. And then trigger the yellow. Fucking hell, look at all this junk. Yeah, see, this is, I kind of pre-build the chain in my head, and then, so if I put a yellow, no, it's too late for that. Okay, right, here we go, here we go. This should do something here. Right, but why did I not get a chain? Oh yeah, I didn't put the blue in place that I was supposed to. Yeah. And you know, this is actually better than I was doing when I first started playing it, so. I'm back in 1 sec. Alright, I'm back. How did you get good at Bayonetta? I will upload this maybe today. I have about an hour-long video of me doing an impromptu Bayonetta crash course thingy to help other people get into it. So I'll put that up when I'm done streaming, or maybe tomorrow. I might just want to go to bed after this. So yeah, that'll go up soon though on this this channel, the extra channel. You know, I don't really like the name Matthew Matosis Extra, but I set it up at a time when YouTube was fucking requiring 2 names for things because it was trying to force everybody to be a person. So there you go. Yeah, see, that's a mistake there. I was trying to get those greens and yellows, but that's sort of reciprocal, which doesn't work. I don't know if anybody's going to know what I mean by that, but there you go. Just trying to clear out some junk. Right, so what can I do now? Defense at least. Put him here. Yeah, we'll get this blue here. This should be a chain now. No, because that thing stays there. Shit. Blue. I want to put a green there. Ah. You think that purely abstract games like Puyo and Tetris can be said to have a story, even if not in a traditional sense? Not really. I mean, if you mean, obviously, I don't think you mean the story mode by that. You mean they have a story in a sense, only in the sense that a football match has a story, you know. Something. Yeah. It's the story of the blocks falling into the right place, but I think you're really stretching the definition to the point where it's not worth doing that anymore. Thanks, Luciel. I need to turn these donation things off because I feel really awkward about it. That's regular streamer territory, but you might want to retract that or something because I already own Vanquish. So, yeah. And I like it. Need to play some more of it. I've been kind of waiting. I was hoping that maybe someday I can get a high frame rate monitor. If you decide to keep your donation in, then I suppose that's what it would go towards. I'd like to get a high frame rate monitor, and I played some of Vanquish on PC, but I was kind of thinking it'd be better to save it until I can crank that frame rate up as high as it'll go. Because there's actually not that many games I'm into that have uncapped frame rates, so I kind of want to save the ones, at least not to my knowledge anyway. And probably the ones that I would like would be, I don't know, more modern to the point where I wouldn't even be able to run them at that frame rate just yet, you know? So. Would you recommend Bayonetta to someone who's never played a Kamiya game and who's not big into action games and also just doesn't like the concept of video games in general? Yeah, of course. Yeah. Let her change your mind. You still stand behind what you said that Vanquish could break down because of mouse controls. I only played it a little bit with the mouse, so I couldn't really say. But I think it's factual that the combat was not designed with you having that level of precision over that level of speed. I think precision maybe is precision is okay, but it's more so the speed that you can move at. It wasn't designed for that, you know? And that doesn't necessarily make it bad. It's just I think that I can say that that's true, you know? They did not anticipate the game coming to PC, and obviously they didn't balance it with PC in mind. Or I mean, that seems extremely unlikely anyway, you know? So and just playing a game like that, you know, if you're going for the max ranks, I think it's personally, I'd find it enjoyable to try and go with whatever the developer sort of had in mind, you know? I don't drink all that much. I haven't had a drink in about a month as of right now, so there you go. I'm drinking this stuff called San Pellegrino, which is water and lemon basically. And it's normally too expensive to get. It's very nice, but it's normally too expensive, but it's just it's too warm, and it's the kind of drink that really helps with that. It makes you feel cooled down, whether it's the lemon or whatever. I don't know. It's gone off screen now, but I saw that comment about playing it like an action game, and yeah, no, I've already I haven't played it that much, but I've already, you know, gotten into a few techniques in it that I find interesting, like what was it? There's one weapon that lets you jump into the air and go into slow-mo and stuff like that, and you know, there's little things like that that make it interesting to get into on that deeper level. So yeah, I'm definitely interested in exploring it more, but I don't know, maybe it's dumb to hold off on a high frame rate monitor that may never come, but yeah, I'd still like to. Hey, we got a 4-chain. Nice. Yeah, I think the game is hard enough on God Hard that, you know, mouse and keyboard is not a ticket to success automatically. But yeah, I'd still prefer to play it with a controller. From what little I played of it, God Hard seemed very fucking hard. Alright, this was just a test stream, and I'm getting sick of this, so I'm gonna chat for a few minutes and then I'm gonna hang up my towel. I don't think it's been particularly good either, so there's no sense dragging it out. I'll do the E3 stream soon, and that one should hopefully be a bit more interesting than watching me poorly meander my way through Puyos and Tetris. My god, I'm practically asleep already. Have you watched Nathan For You season 4? I have. I fucking love the last episode. It's so good. Everybody should watch it. The whole show, I mean. Nathan For You. That last episode, though. Jesus Christ. It's like... Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to hype it up too much for anybody who hasn't seen it or anything, but it's seriously an amazing episode. Don't be alarmed, but it's coming home. Okay. You had a chance to play Deep Strange Journey yet? No, I haven't. I'm probably not going to play it. I don't really want to spend that money just for a game that I've already played with worse character portraits or whatever. So. Sopranos. Yeah, Twitter kind of butchered that one on me because I picked out the pictures and then you look at it and the thumbnail doesn't show you the pulp versus no pulp, you know? I should have shrunk it down or something, but I don't shitpost on Twitter enough to understand how it handles images, so it kind of butchered it a little bit. But yeah, it was the first thing that came to mind when I saw pulp versus no pulp. It's one of my favorite lines in the whole fucking show, to be honest. Thoughts on AAA games seeming more political in setting, but devs, publishers decline to actually make a political statement? I'm not sure what you mean by that, to be honest with you. It's not really something that interests me. I mean, I would think that you would get that point by now, but I actually don't know what you mean by it. Yeah. Would I ask what you've been playing lately other than Puyo Puyo Tetris? Dishonored, Fallout 2. What else was I playing? Oh, Oxygen Not Included. It's easy for me to forget that because there's nothing to complete, you know. But yeah, I sunk more hours into that than I should have. I'm looking forward to seeing how far they push that one. Because I think it's in an okay place already, but Don't Starve has gotten tons and tons of updates and expansions and stuff. I just would be much more interested in Oxygen Not Included getting that attention instead, so here's hoping they keep it going for a while. Oh, thanks, Rakim. Hope I said that right. I'm glad to hear that, the DMC thing. I did see it. I didn't. Sorry, these things slipped my mind. I saw it earlier, but thanks for bringing it up again because it's always nice to hear. The Division, for example, has a lot of politics inherent in its depiction, but the devs say the game is unpolitical. I'm not sure. I don't know anything about the Division personally, so yeah, I think that as with anything, you know, if developers want to make a political statement with their game, they're free to do that, and you are free to ignore it or you know, say that it's misguided or judge the game on those merits, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't really been thinking about it. Do you and Mecha Gamezilla hang out in real life? No, we don't. Because we're the same person. How would that work? How much potato pounds do I have to pay you to play Kingdom Hearts? I've already played Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 back when they came out. So, it's done. I beat Sephiroth and everything. Alright, I'm gonna leave it there. I'll be back soon anyway for the E3 stream, so you can pop on then. And yeah, that's it. I never know how to end these things. I just gotta fucking pull the plug. I gotta rip the band-aid off. I gotta say bye-bye. Everybody say bye-bye, bye-bye. Alright, I'll see you again soon. We're up and running now, so hopefully I can stream some more stuff. Hope you're all looking forward to the Ballistic NG stream. Alright. Classic Wipeout. Yeah. Alright. See you later, everyone. Oh, I'm using the wrong mouse. I'm trying to stop streaming with the wrong mouse. I'm gonna go to sleep now. Good night, all. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.